Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Nathan. Just want to say good evening, everyone. Both the East West Coast. Hope you guys enjoyed your day today here on Sunday because we're also enjoying the weekend. And for this video tonight, of what I want to talk to you guys about is the Born Beautiful's Jacob Young addresses internet chatter that he's off contract. So let's go right into it. The link will be in the description down below. This is from SoulCentral.com, posted by Dan J. Core, the website for the 19th of April of 2018, posted on Thursday last week. And it says, over the past year or two, the internet has been abuzz with rumors that Emmy winner Jacob Young, Rick Forster, have been taking out contract at the Bold Beautiful. Several sites cited an interview, quote, an interview, the actor gave without mentioning the outlet that conducted the interview or any direct quotes from the supposed interview. Young was in Young was inundated on his social media platforms with questions from fans who want to know the truth. Now the multi-soul favorite has broken his silence. After two more decades in daytime, Young is without a contract, but according to him, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Quote, I want to take a moment to address the rumors that I'm currently off contract, Young shared on Twitter. It's true. I'm recurring and just starting to shoot a movie for Lifetime. I have been in a contract for 21 years, and this is to me a blessing. I can now have time to pursue all my passions. And he also wrote down his Twitter account. Quote, I'm pursuing wholeheartedly my other passions, but I'm still around. Young told Verity. Young started his daytime career as Rick on B&B back in 1997. He left the CBS soap 2 years later and took over the role of General Hospital's Lucky Spencer from Emmy winner Jonathan Jackson in early 2000. The role also proved magical for Young, who earned an Emmy for his own in 2002. The following year, Young began his longest uninterrupted daytime stint when he joined All My Children. From 2003 to AMC's final episode in 2011, Young played the role of J.R. Chandler. Young then returned to the Bold and Beautiful in late 2011 and has been with the show ever since. In fun soap fashion, all three of Young's roles have been juniors. Rick is really Eric Forster Jr., though, called Lucky. The character is really Lucas Lorenzo Spencer Jr. In AMC's JR, he's Adam Chandler Jr. And he also said about this in the interview with Verity, and he also have the quote there, so you guys check that out. I'm not going to read it, but I'll go on with the article. Over the past year or so, Young has turned his attention to the music world. He has released a handful of singles, the most recent of which, quote, Full for You, is now available on Amazon, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and Pandora. He has also performed a concert at venues in Las Vegas and New York. Quote, it all kind of started on a whim. My wife Kristen told me I should stop just playing around the house and share it with the rest of the world. Young shared. Quote, sometimes I wonder why I waited so long, but it might not have been the right time. I feel like now more than ever, this is the right time. In related news, Young's on-screen wife, Cara Mosey of My Avalon, has announced that she is pregnant with the first child. You can read the story here, and they have a link there in the article, so let's check it out. What do you think about Young's status at the Bold and Beautiful? Are you upset that he's no longer on a contract? Do you think he'll leave B&B for another soap? We want to hear from you. There are many ways to share your thoughts. Post a comment article down below, sharing the article on Facebook, tweeting the article, or submitting feedback. I have to say, at first I was shocked and surprised because I thought that Jacob Young was going to remain Bold Beautiful for the remaining future of the show. But when I read his article and then I read his explanations, it makes sense to me, and I'm not surprised anymore. I mean, he wants to do things outside of the Bold and Beautiful, and I do think that these days, some people, actors, whether you're from a soap opera or primetime, TV, sometimes you don't get a chance to do that because I think the executive producers or the powers that be want to keep you on that show you're currently on, but you want to do things, differently. I think that Terry Christopher, who played Nicholas Cassadine, had, issues with that as well because he wanted to do things outside of General Hospital, and then he left and then joined Days of Our Lives. So for Jacob Young, I completely understand. I do think it's a shame though that he's not getting enough writing for his character of Rick Forster on One Beautiful because the most the one I remember the most that he had more storyline and more storytelling was when Maya revealed herself as transgender. I mean, and when the two of them, first met. That was huge and big and historic because here was, Rick, dating someone that he loved with all of his heart ever since he met her, but he was shocked to find out that she was a transgender, and that, really hurt him until, they made up and got married. And despite how the storyline of Maya being transgender worked out, Rick, supported her. He didn't judge her or anything. He loved her and he supported her. So for Jacob Young, I think it's unfortunate for him because on the Bold Beautiful, and I'm not gonna go on a big rant, but right now we have most of the storylines are Liam, Steffi, Hope, Wyatt, mostly overall. And, that's kind of been the bread and butter of the Bone Beautiful since 2010, when they shifted away from the characters that made the Bone Beautiful what it was. Other characters besides the four of Ridge, Brooke, Steffi, Eric. And, it was just, Steffi, Liam, Wyatt, and Hope. Basically, the four of them are the Ridge, Brooke, and Ridge, Brooke, Taylor, etc. of this generation. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but you know, and the thing is they have to keep that going. But I do think that the Bold Beautiful should bring back characters that made the soap opera what it was today, not just Um, I'm not talking about Ridge, Eric, Brooke, etc. I'm talking about others such as Nick Maroney, Whip, um, who else? Gosh, Owen, Bridget, plenty of others that they can bring on. So, it's unfortunate for Jacob Young, but I want to wish him nothing more but the best in his career moving forward. But tell me, what guys say about this. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you more neutral about B&B's Jacob Young addresses internet chatter that he's off contract? And if so, tell me in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to always subscribe to my channel, guys. And next time, is Nate saying peace. Take care. We'll see you guys there for next video coming up tomorrow morning or coming. So stay tuned. So on this time, care, guys. See you guys later. Peace. Have a good night. We'll see you guys later for next video coming up right now. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye.